This video is a review of the Minlab Pro-Find Pinpointer, this device here. So I'm going to basically have a look what's inside the box. We're going to test its sensitivity on various little metal samples I have here, and then we'll do some tests on the ground as well. So I really want to know how good is this thing at detecting, well, in this case steel, but later on gold as well. Okay, let's look inside the box. So we have here the instructions. There's two books here. It looks like quite a large document, but in fact that's because instructions are in many languages. That's the instructions right here in English. So that's that. We have here some warranty information. Here we have the Pro-Find Pinpointer. So it's in plastic. And this little pouch here is to buckle onto your belt so that the Pro-Finder is secure as you're walking around. And you also get supplied with a battery, which is nice. So it's a 9-volt battery that the Pro-Find uses. So I'm going to turn the device on now. So here we have an on button, one quick press, and it's ready to go. So we have a metal screw here. You can see it's working. That's my ring there. We have a plus and minus sensitivity button here. So if we select minus, that means we're on minimum sensitivity. If we press the plus button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's maximum sensitivity. The other thing too is the beeping noise it makes. If you find that a little bit annoying, turn the Pro-Finder off, press the minus button and switch on at the same time, and it's now in vibration mode. So if I detect something here, maybe you can't hear that, but it's vibrating quite vigorously in my hand. But for the purposes of this video, it's probably best to have the sound turned on. I'll turn it off, press the plus button and turn it on. We're back onto the sound being on. So we have our little speaker here. Now the Pro-Find is sensitive both along the sides here and at the tip. That's actually quite useful, and I'll show you why later. So just keep in mind, it beeps there and it beeps there, so it's not just at the tip, and that's important to know. Now what I want to do next is I'll test it on these little tiny bits of metal I have in plastic bags here. For this purpose I have this box here. Turn it off. I have this box here, which is just basically an empty box that provides me with a solid area that I can work on, and I know that there's no metal around that's going to affect my testing. I have 6 bags here. They're all various amounts of metal inside of them. I've used pins and I've cut the pins up as my sample packs. The smallest one is actually the tip of a pin, then the next one is the head of a pin, then we have a little bit of a folded pin, number 3. Number 4 is about 1 pin cut into small pieces. Number 5 is almost a complete pin folded in half, so that's a big solid piece of metal. And the last one is 2 pins cut into small pieces. So what I'm trying to simulate is, if you're looking for gold, you may not necessarily find a nugget, which will be easy to find. It may be a sprinkling of little tiny specks of gold. So these little packs sort of simulate various sizes of gold, or in this case steel, to see how sensitive the detector is. I'll turn the Pro-Find on. I want it on maximum sensitivity, so I'll press the plus button. It's on maximum sensitivity now. And you might just notice that there's a little LED light here, so that light comes on when the unit is on. When the unit is off, the LED light goes off as well. I'm going to start with my smaller sample, which is the tip of a pin. Let's see how we go. The tip of the pin is right there. Tip of a pin, very small, and it picks it up, but you have to be right next to it. The next one I've got here is a pin head, which is slightly bigger. It's so it does pick it up. I've taken my ring off so we don't interfere with the signal there. It does pick it up again. So pinhead, again, picks it up, but it's a little bit, I don't know, intermittent. The next one here is sample number 3. It's a half a pin folded in half, so it's a slightly bigger sample. So it picks it up pretty well. So this is a good sample showing a fairly hefty piece of metal, I guess, half a pin folded in half. The next one, which is a pin, but in this case it's been cut up into small pieces, so it's not one solid piece of steel, it's many small pieces. So I'll spread them out a little bit and picks that up pretty well. That's my single pin cut up into small pieces. The next one, which I'm expecting good results from, is a single pin folded in half. So we'll have a look at that. It seems a bit. That is picked up quite well. So anything that's about the size of, I guess, the volume of a pin folded in half, a single pin, you picked up quite easily. And the last one is 2 pins cut up, and what I want to do is spread the material around in the bag a little bit so that it's not just concentrated in one area. So we have a series of tiny metal pieces. Another very good feature about the Pro-Find Pinpointer is its ability to differentiate between ferrous and non-ferrous materials. So I have a screw here. You can hear it makes a very much intermittent beeping sound. It's not a constant. So what it's telling us is that this screw here is ferrous material. So here's my gold ring here. So if we look at this one here, it has a continuous tone. The Pro-Find will actually let you know something about the material which you're detecting. I don't think it'll work that well on very small items, but certainly if you found yourself a nugget and it makes that sort of a sound, dig it up for sure. But if you're hearing a intermittent sound like that, probably it's going to be a piece of steel or metal or something. That's the basic benchtop tests of this device. We'll do some tests on the ground now, and I'll show you the value of this ability to detect all along the edge and the tip as well. If you happen to lose your pinpointer, and assuming it's still switched on, the device will sound an alert after about 3 minutes. Let's test this function. Okay, I'm putting this on time lapse so we don't have to actually wait for the full 3 minutes. Okay, there it goes. After 3 minutes, as promised. When I did this test, the Pro-Find was set to vibration mode. So, with any sound setting, the pinpointer will still emit an audio alert. So somewhere in this area here, I buried a screw I had before. If I was using the Pro-Find here, looking for things, you might think, okay, let's go around and check if there's anything underground here. Very slow and tedious process. But the value of having the entire shaft here as sensitive is that, like a metal detector, I can run this over the ground and to see if it picks up any chunky bits of metal. There's something here. Okay, now having found this location, now I can telling me it's not. Oh, there it is. We found it. And it's telling me that it's not gold, it's probably ferrous material. This is what I mean, being able to scan the ground like that allows it to almost act like a mini metal detector. I'm going to do some other tests in the field to show you how else we can use the tip to check out areas which might be difficult to detect with a metal detector. But so far, I'm quite happy with the way this works. I want to demonstrate how we could also use the Pro-Finder in an area like this, where a creek's coming down with rocks. If you suspect there might be gold particles or tiny nuggets in between the rocks, the crevices, and behind these barriers here. This is probably a difficult area with a metal detector. With the little Pro-Finder here, it means I can dig into the crevices and listen out for a bit of sound. Okay, there was something there, but it sounds very metallic, so I won't bother. And something here. Just clear the rocks. It's just a bit of nail there. I'm not actually looking for gold at the moment. I just want to demonstrate the idea, the concept. So yeah, if you have an area like this and you think it's a little bit hard for your metal detector, yeah, the Pro-Find can be used to stick in all the nicks and crannies and allow us to examine areas which even perhaps our fingers can't reach. Yeah, that concludes my review of the Pro-Finder, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But I really want to find some gold. Alright, thanks.